sports. It's in the game. from beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
44, ready.
Throwing to start here is Tua. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Powering his way forward. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Allen. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception. After the turnover, it's Tua. Forced out to his left. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Watson, Oscar. Slide. Solo left Zion.
Now Tua. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. The Dolphins had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses. Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this
Ready,
up,
set.
they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Ready, set.
Tua sets up to pass it. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Tua now, 3rd and goal. That's caught at the 1. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Wright, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Dolphins have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2. And they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've known him primarily as a tackler and a cover man. But
under pressure, they got him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
All 52.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, come on. Get on.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. That's Matt Milano firing in from his linebacker position.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. And now the Bills are going to stop it. Timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
21G. 8.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
Here's Tua. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Hey. 21G.
Tua going to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, ready. Turbo 3.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches.
Ready. Set.
A give left side. Here's Achane. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Out.
Achane. Diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Stop. Middle.
To throw, it's Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Alert! Gun. Look out.
Now Allen. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
Four minutes to play here in quarter number 2.
Look out.
Here's Allen. Rolling to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver, that burner on the outside.
Alert!
Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big play.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
From the gun, it's Allen. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight.
Touchdown, Bills. James Cook, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Hill shedding the tackle. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Flushed out right. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Tua getting it quickly out to Waddle. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Dorian Williams in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
Go ahead.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Short throw to Smith. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Solo left Zion. Solo left Zion.
Looking to pass. Tua. They complete it to Hill. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins take a 3-touchdown lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40, right around the 39, so solid starting field position. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
What's that?
On play action, Allen. Got it complete to Khalil Shakir. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
What's that?
To the air, Allen. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Hey, alert! Hey, home. Look out!
And again, it's Allen. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. On play action, Allen steps away. Oh, and he's going to be brought down a few yards short of the goal line, and they're going to be unable to stop the clock from here. So close yet so far, and that's going to be how this first half will come to an end. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Allen to throw it, escaping the pressure right. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Throwing now is Allen. They'll roll him out right. He's got his target. That's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Now Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Josh Palmer, 29 yards. And the Bills get a bit closer. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime. then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
A run straight ahead with Achane. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Now Tua signaling to change things up.
Let's go. Turbo 1, Hive.
They'll run for it with Achane. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
And Achane is someone the Dolphins are expecting a lot from in his sophomore season.
44.
He's an electric playmaker
20,
who
TX.
every time he touches the ball feels like he could go the distance.
Dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Watson, Oscar. Solo left, Zion.
Now Tua. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Ready, set.
Play action. Now it's Tua. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Ready. Hey, time
Now
out
they'll
two.
change
Time out
things
two.
around
Time out
before
two.
the snap.
Oh, that.
Back to the ground, Achane. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's
Ready,
the
set.
last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Hey, hey. Set.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
Go ahead. Hey, 21, TX. Set.
Tua sets up to pass it. Flushed out right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Go ahead. Sit down.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane.
Get set.
On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds.
Set.
On 2nd and 9, Tua. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive
All right, come on.
already. This is 3rd and 4.
Out.
That's going to be caught by Waddle.
So the completion gets him just a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Great job of tackling there to prevent the first down.
One of the toughest skills in football, open field tackling. A lot of times one-on-one against a shifty receiver. He got it done in a nice way that time.
Sanders' kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
2nd and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu.
And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
From the 25, here's 2nd down and 7.
Ready.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa being chased out left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead. That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Down to the 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 40 yards. And the Bills have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that cuts this lead down to 13.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed.
They find some open field here.
Now he's loose at the 40. Jalen Waddle.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown.
Jalen Waddle with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Dolphins have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And able to get this out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
56, look out.
Working out of the shotgun, here's Allen. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And a big loss
loss here as he's taken down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Allen from the gun on third down. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Joey Bosa in on the stop. Here's a 2nd and 8.
Go ahead.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
This one thrown underneath to Achane.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Tua going to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Pick made by Terrell Bernard.
And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
Get safe. Go ahead.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long.
Ready, set.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Dolphins, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.